Good morning. This is Cindy from Edmonton Graphic Designer. I want to introduce you to my new friend, Leah Storry. She does writing, editing, and publishing. The name of her business is Our Family Lines, and that's for personal, correct? And then our corporate history. Our corporate history is for corporate services. Today we're going to get to know Leah. And Leah, can you tell us a little bit about your businesses and how you got into that line of work?
Sure. So I write, edit, and publish your stories, basically. So memoirs, personal histories, corporate histories, website bios, things like that. So if you have something that needs to be written and you don't have time, or you feel a little intimidated by writing, then that's where I come in. So I start with interviews.
Okay.
So I will talk to people and collect all the information, and then depending on what the person wants, then I will either make it into a story or a brochure or a website page.
So you're kind of like an investigator.
Well, my background's in journalism,
Okay.
and so that's what journalists do. We talk to people, do a bit of research, and then stitch it all together. Yeah, I started with the personal side because it's easier to meet people, networking,
Yeah.
and talk to them and get their personal histories, their personal stories.
Right.
And that's what seems to be the big thing right now. You know, we have Ancestry.com,
Right.
all these genealogy sites. And I'm not a genealogist. I do the stories. So the stories that come out of families. But that's what's hot right now. People want their family stories in a book. Yes, I will take photos, but often we have people with tons of digital photos,
Yes.
photo albums, documents, things like World War II, salary booklets,
Or ticket stubs.
concert
Wow.
stubs.
Postcards.
Yeah, all things like that. Yeah, and it's a legacy.
Yes.
It's for them. In the end, they get something that they can pass down and enjoy for, I want to say, thousands of years.
Yeah.
But that's the thing too, is technology changes, but books, we still have books.
And you get them published, right? It's editing and publishing.
That's correct. I take it all the way right from the interview to the publishing stage. So some clients just want the family story for themselves, and that's great.
Yeah.
So they order how many books they want, and that's it.
Yeah.
But some families do put the books in bookstores. So
Right.
independent bookstores, Chapters, Indigo, places like that. You don't have to be famous to sell books. You have to have a topic that people will feel connected to have drive, because books don't sell by themselves.
Right.
So if you really, really want your book to sell, you have to market it. It's amazing. I meet so many interesting people and hear so many interesting stories. But that's just one side of stories.
Right.
The quiet moments with your grandmother or your dad fixing a car, things like that. Those are also important moments. It does not have to be something huge and exciting, a big event. It can be those softer moments. And we're looking for life experiences, life lessons, so our future generations don't have to go through some of the things we did. So we're passing down our stories so they can learn from us. Or maybe they won't learn from us, but they can see themselves.
We can say we told you so.
Yeah. But then they can also see themselves in the
Yes.
lines of the stories.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about the corporate history, our corporate history.
Well, a lot of times our businesses are us, and we don't see that.
Yeah.
The client or the customer does not see that.
Mhm.
They see a storefront or an auto body shop,
Yeah.
but little do they know how that business started.
Yeah.
And there are hopes and our dreams and our fears all in one place.
Yeah.
So it's showing the clients, the customers, who the person behind the business is,
Yeah.
and giving the business a personality, a soul.
Branding.
Yeah,
Personal
branding.
branding and corporate branding
Mhm.
are all tied into one.
That's right.
Yeah.
And often people will feel connected to a business or a company if they know the backstory.
And that's why we're here.
Yeah.
So I totally agree with you.
Hmm.
How did the idea for your business come about?
Well, I'm a journalist, and I was laid off in 2011 from a newspaper organization in Calgary. And I needed something to do.
Yeah.
So I thought, with my writing skills, my interviewing skills, my layout skills,
Yeah.
I could put together a story writing business. So that's how it came about in 2011. And Alberta has a great entrepreneurial spirit, and we've seen that in our province.
Yeah.
And it was something that I thought, if I don't do it now, I won't ever get a chance to do it.
Right.
So because I just wanted to start running. It's like, got my laptop, go.
Yeah.
But there's so many things that you don't think about starting a business.
Yeah.
Just things that are very important, but you never hear somebody say to you, "Oh, Cindy, how's your privacy policy today?" Just
None of your business.
yeah, just little things like that.
Yeah.
That it really did. The self-employment program gave me confidence
Right.
and the tools to launch.
So how did you build a successful customer base?
Well, talking to people, just like we're doing here. So networking and meeting people, and basically just
Word of mouth?
word of mouth.
Yes.
Yeah. And my website, that helps too. Social media.
Yes. I've
Of
been to your
course.
website too.
Yeah, thanks. It's everything right now is online, and especially with the pandemic, everything moved to Zoom.
Yes.
And so that was a lot of talking to people too.
Yeah.
I feel that when people start talking about their stories, they just go. But I feel like once you start talking, the connection's there.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if it's face to face
Right.
or online.
It's probably very therapeutic, isn't it?
Sometimes we have stories that are terrible,
Yeah.
that we don't want to share, but there is sometimes a reason to share that story. One of my clients was a childhood sexual abuse survivor, and she said, I should not be the one embarrassed. I want to tell my story, and I want to stop childhood sexual abuse. I want to say, hey, here's my book. I went through it. Let's stop it. Here's the signs. Let's see how we can help kids.
Yeah.
And an example of a very, very terrible story that she shared. Yeah. And it turned out to be positive in the end, because she worked through it and she had something to do, something she wanted to say.
Yeah.
And it was an amazing book.
Wow.
I do a newsletter every month. I just sent one out this morning. Yeah, so people who actually are writers, or they'd like to start writing the stories, so they have something that they can go on. It's not just write about anything. So the newsletter is tips on how to start your memoir writing, as well as some story ideas and some ways to make your writing more interesting. Yeah. So a lot of people think when you just sit down and write, you just need to write about what happened. Yeah. But that's not all of it. Yeah. You need to describe things. You need to put dates. You need to put places. You need to put names.
Make it rich.
Yeah, make it rich. Make it connect with people.
Right.
Because if you're just reading facts of an event that happened, that's the news. Right. So you get that. Yeah. But you want a story. Most people, their most favorite books are when they go on a journey with the character. Oh, yes. With the main character. Yeah. And they're feeling what that character's feeling. And they're going through, they can see things. They're like, oh yeah, I can see that blue sea over there. Yes. And so you want your readers, no matter who they are, they're your family or your friends or a stranger. You want them to go on a journey with you.
Right.
You want them in your shoes. Because when the person talks to me, he, she, or
experience it.
they'll usually, I will ask them questions to go further. Like they don't just say, I walked to the beach and I put my feet in the water.
Yeah.
I will say, okay, you walked on the beach. Was it sandy? Was it pebbly?
Right.
No, was it a hot day?
Right.
Like what
Did
was
it
going
burn
on?
your feet?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
So you talk to
Right.
that person and you get that kind of information.
Right.
Yes, I have done some international work already.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've done some work for people in Estonia and England and Malaysia. And I'm sure there's another spot, but I can't remember it right now. So yeah, because I am online
Right.
and I don't have to have a physical office.
Yeah.
I can work with anybody from anywhere.
Nice. So Leah, I would like to ask you some personal questions.
Certainly.
Because as you said, a business owner is their brand, same as their business is their brand. Because without you, there wouldn't be a business, right?
I don't judge.
Yeah.
So you come
Yeah.
to me with a story. I'm not going to sit there and judge your story. It's like, I'll write what you say.
Yeah.
There, I do have some standards. So if it's racist and hateful and such, yeah, I'm not going to work with you on that.
Yes.
But for the most part, what your story is your story. Who am I to judge it?
So do you write the story as if they're the ones speaking or third person?
It depends. It depends on the client.
Right.
Some people want it first person. So I did this. I went there. But some people prefer third person. Like Cindy did this. Cindy went there.
Yeah.
So it depends on the person.
What motivates you?
Everything. Writing stories, telling people stories, trying to get people to tell their stories too is a big motivator. And a lot of people think, oh, my story isn't any good. Like no one will want to read my story.
Yeah.
But guess what? Somebody does. Your kids do, or if you don't have kids, your family, your friends, even somebody who doesn't want to feel alone.
Yeah.
They want to connect with somebody who's gone through something that they think no one else has.
That's right.
But here is your story saying, no, I went through it. I got through it.
Yeah.
It was hard. It was tough, but here I am.
Yeah.
I don't want to be famous. I just want people to have their stories. And I think success is different for everyone.
Yes.
And success for me really comes down, and this sounds cliche, but it really comes down to the smiles on the client's face after, or the thank you. I never thought this would get written, and now it's done, and now I have it.
Wow.
We all have different ways, and it's tough sometimes. It's really tough.
Yeah.
But we have to get through these, and in the end, they become our stories, how we went through challenges and struggles.
That's right.
I love meeting other entrepreneurs and talking to them, and networking is fantastic. Just talking to people and saying, how are you doing?
Yeah.
Tell me your story. That's a great part of being an entrepreneur. Yeah, and it's energizing.
Yes.
So for me, talking to you even right now, it's energizing. I don't feel drained. I feel motivated to, after go home and write a whole bunch of stuff.
Exactly. Did you hear that, people? You want to be motivated in your business? Let me interview you.
Talk to her.
Well, Leah, I really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day and sharing your story with us. I really hope that the viewers have a good understanding of what you do and why you do it. I will put your contact information below the video.
But thank you so much, Cindy. These questions were very, very insightful and inspiring. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. You have a great day. Thank you. Bye. Thanks again, Lee.